Today, we're diving into a detailed analysis of Wade Wilson's behavior and body language during his recent sentencing. Wade Wilson was found guilty of the murder of 2 women, and our focus today is on his demeanor during this critical moment. Before we start, a quick reminder, this analysis is not a formal psychological evaluation, but rather my observations. If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe to stay updated with more of our analyses.
I'm not a saint either by any means. I've made bad decisions in the past.
When she tried to flee from the car, he drove over her at least one time, inflicting mortal injuries to her spine, ribs, and neck.
Let's dive into the video. Wade Wilson was charged with the first-degree murder of 2 women, Kristine Melton and Diane Ruiz. The 2 victims had been brutally murdered just days apart, leaving the community shaken and demanding justice. Kristine Melton was a 35-year-old woman who was found dead on October 7, 2019. According to court testimony, her murder was especially heinous. The evidence revealed that her death was not only violent, but also coldly premeditated. Melton's body was found with clear signs of struggle, and it was determined that Wilson had killed her in an especially cruel manner. This was a key point during the trial. The state argued that Wilson showed no remorse and had planned the murder with precision. Just days later, on October 10, 2019, Diane Ruiz, another innocent victim, was found dead. Ruiz's murder was equally brutal, with the prosecution presenting evidence that her killing was calculated and premeditated. Like Melton, Ruiz had no chance to defend herself against Wilson's violent attack. The similarities in both murders helped the prosecution build a strong case, showing that Wilson had a pattern of violent behavior that escalated to murder. The jury's verdict: death sentence for Wade Wilson. In court, the jury was tasked with deciding whether Wilson would spend the rest of his life in prison or face the death penalty. As the verdict was read aloud, Wilson showed no emotion, a chilling reflection of the crimes he had committed. The jury's decision, by a vote of 9-3 for the murder of Kristine Melton and 10-2 for the murder of Diane Ruiz, they recommended the death penalty. This case is important not just because of the brutal murders, but also because of the legal process that led to the final outcome. Wade Wilson wasn't new to the justice system. He had a criminal history that played a big role in the jury's decision. He had been convicted of several felonies before, some of which involved violence. Because of this, the state had no problem proving the aggravating factors needed to pursue the death penalty. Wilson's past crimes showed a pattern of dangerous behavior, which made it easier for the prosecution to argue that he was a serious threat to society. Now, while the jury focused on his recent murders, his past weighed heavily on the decision. The fact that he had already been involved in violent crimes made it clear that this wasn't just a one-time act of violence. But before we get to how the jury reached their decision, let's take a step back and look at how this case came to be. From the horrific acts that Wade Wilson committed to the investigation that followed, each part of this story added up to the final chilling moment in court: a chilling lack of remorse. What makes this case even more disturbing is Wade Wilson's behavior throughout the trial. Throughout the sentencing, as the jury delivered its decision, Wilson showed no visible emotion. His lack of remorse was noted by many, and it painted a picture of a man who had detached himself entirely from the gravity of his actions. The prosecution used this to argue that Wilson was a danger to society and deserved the harshest punishment possible. In conclusion, Wilson's behavior and body language throughout the sentencing present a complex picture. While he appears composed and assertive, subtle signs of anxiety and stress undermine his projected image. His ability to remain still and controlled during the proceedings challenges claims of uncontrollable impulsivity. The contrast between his outward demeanor and underlying anxiety provides insight into his psychological state and how he is coping with the gravity of his situation. Thank you for watching. If you found this analysis helpful, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If there are other cases or topics you'd like me to explore, feel free to suggest them. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. See you next time.